Shush. There, everyone, you can see Howie. She's not molting, but today's day 28, and that's what her last molt was. So we're just gonna keep watching her, kind of do a check-in every now and then, so that everyone can see how Howie's doing. Yeah, Siren's definitely jealous. Siren, can you squeak? No? You just jumping around and stuff? Yeah. I'm doing okay, Lindsay. I'm getting up frequently in the night and checking her and making sure she's okay. I'm so afraid that she's going to molt while I'm sleeping. So I'm setting alarms every so often so I can get up and check her. Let's lower this a little bit. There. That's Howie's underwater. There you go, baby. You say hi to everyone. Say hi, Howie. Howie can stay underwater for several hours. She's really good at holding her breath, but she will pop up for air. The cracks on her shell are really looking like they're ready to go, so it's going to be any time now. Yeah, her eyes are cracking, but that'll resolve itself if she can manage to molt. She was blowing a few bubbles a little bit ago. Siren, quit meowing. Howie's not actively dying. She's just trying to, Alright, don't rub on the stand. Siren's shaking the camera stand. Don't rub on that. Be a good kitty. Here, you can sit up here and watch. Yeah. You know. So hopefully, here, let's move it up so Howie can. Thank you for the cowboy hat and the ice cream. No, it's not time to molt. I just wanted everybody to be able to see her. She is really close to molting. I am afraid that I'm gonna miss it, like if I sleep. So yeah, Howie, can you wave hi to everybody? Can you wave hi, honey? Come on. Howie's just conserving energy. She likes to be in the water because she's weightless and it takes the pressure off of her joints. It makes her feel better. Yeah, but guys, she's so ready. She's so ready to molt. I don't know when it's going to be. You know, it looks like she's still pushing water into her shell. I'm hoping very, very soon. Isn't that right, Howie? You can actually see her new mouth is under her. She has a second mouth under there. It's ready. It looks like it's pretty well formed, which is a good sign. She'll eat once she molts and her mouth hardens, but she'll eat her shell first and then she'll eat food. I mean, if I had to gamble when, I mean, it could be any time. It could be tonight. Siren, stop it. It could be tonight. It could be tomorrow or the next day, but it's coming. Is it hard taking care of a crab? Feeding her, not so much, but tank care is the hardest part. Let's see. Thank you for the pizzas. I don't know if she'll molt successfully. She's really old, guys. As they get older, their shell gets harder the older they get, and it takes a long, long, long time for them to break it down. But she's also regrowing her organs, and if anything fails on the regrowth, it wouldn't be good. And yes, molting is painful for her because she has nerves inside of her shell and she's trying to separate from them. And then no, I can't help her out of her shell. I mean, right now it looks like she's putting water into her mouth to try to force it into her shell. Howie is 8 years old, which is very, very old for crabs, of her species. Her eyes are cracking due to the age of her shell. It's natural. It's just because she's old. But if she molts, it'll correct it. The molting process, it takes longer each time. So her last molt took 28 days, and today we're on day 28. So I expect it'll take just a little bit longer. We got her at a pet store. My daughter was 5 and she chose her. And that was back in 2016. Their usual lifespan is only 3 to 5 years in captivity, and Howie is 8. So she's very, very old. Oh, thank you, Beth M. I appreciate it. Let's see. Howie. There's those bubbles. Do you need to get some air, honey? Yeah, you can tell by Howie's abdomen that she is female, but she's about to come up for air. Come on, honey, get your air. Come on. See, she's getting her air. See, she was holding her breath that whole time. Yeah, now she's going back down. There. Yes, molting is painful for her. Unfortunately, it's just something that crabbies have to go through. Isn't that right, Howie? You're doing good. Where you going? You gonna go in your cave? She's going all over. Howie, don't hide, honey. We'll probably only do this live for a little bit longer, but I just wanted everyone to have a chance to see her on the off chance that she molts when I'm sleeping. She loves to chew her heaters. I have to replace those things all the time. I mean, she's not currently molting, but she's very, very close, you guys. Yeah, so over the time her red faded away and then it was mostly blue and then normally she's kind of a brown on top, but she's looking like a toasted hamburger bun right now. Trying to get it to focus better on little Howie's face. Oh my Howie. You have so many people rooting for you, Howie. Yes, Howie will eat her old shell after she molts to help remineralize. I know, Howie, so many people love you. Yeah. What do you think? I know, honey. Where you going? Oh, my camera won't focus. Come on, camera, focus. I'm not really good at this live stuff. I don't do it very often. There. Yeah, once Howie molts, she'll eat her shell, and then once she's back to regular food, I'll give her some cheese and some yummy treats. And I think that'll make her really happy. There. It's okay, Howie. It's all right, baby. Here's Siren. Siren, say hi. Siren, can you squeak? Siren! You got a hat. Squeak. Say meow meow. Yeah, good girl. But back to Howie, the star of the show. Yeah, there really aren't any accurate records for crabs of her age. So what we know is from other pet owners. And, a lot of the long livers were about 8. And I think there has been a couple crabs that have lived to 10, but there's no record of actually what species they were. I think people were confusing their Cardosoma armatums with the Cardosoma guanhumi, which is the Florida blue land crab. So I can't accurately say if 10 years was true or not. So we're going off of what I know for true rainbow crab owners, that 8 is the maximum species age. Her vision isn't the best right now, but she can see a little bit. She can see enough. She knows I'm here. Like, Howie, can you wave, honey? Can you wave? No, you can't help crabs molt because they have to separate from their old organs too, and that's such a delicate process. If I were to pull on her, it would kill her. Usually it takes about a week for her shell to reharden. And then her species doesn't molt annually, it's based on growth because the young crabs will molt every 8 weeks or 2 months. And then, so she's between 8 and 9 months right now. There, where are you going, Howie? She's dancing. And she's in her molting cave. There, Howie. Hang out in your molting cave, baby. Yeah. Why don't you just hang out there, boo-boo? So she's not actively molting, but we're still waiting. You can see the crack on her side. Are you coming out to see me? It's getting ready. Like, that is getting ready to bust open. I know, Howie. I know, baby. See how close that crack is? So we're hoping, I'm really hoping it's going to be in the next day or two, because this is an awful long time for this poor little girl not to eat. But you can really see it. Yeah, it does hurt them when they molt, so she's really not in a good mood. That's kind of why crabs are so crabby when they're molting. It's because it's painful for them. Yeah, I really don't know how long she can go without eating, but it's not really typical for her species to go past 2 weeks without eating. But it's been 28 days for Howie. He's trying to hide on her volcano. Come on, sweetie. She'll completely molt underwater. She's never molted out of the water before. And no, she's not eating. She has a film that is between her mouth and her digestive tract because her digestive tract is reforming to be larger. So, but that crack is looking like it might go any day. I think not quite yet. I think we have a little bit more time until that breaks because it still looks pretty thick on the end. So we might have some more time. I mean, so her last molt was 28 days and now she's on day 28. So this is the longest she's ever gone without eating. So, and she's in a really terrible mood. I know, Howie. She's gonna come play on her volcano. You gonna sit on the bubbles, baby? Does that feel good? Yeah. The place that starts to molt first is the line. I can't really see it right now, but the line on her shell. Let's see. Oh. Was I disturbing a private moment, Howie? I'm sorry. Yeah, her coloration is really faded because you guys know how blue this little gal is. But it's normal for her to be, this pale right before her molt. But again, that line is looking like it might go very soon. She does have a fat storage inside her shell. And we know she was able to go 28 days last time. I'm hoping that she could just hang on for a few more until her shell thins the rest of the way so it can crack open. Yeah, it does hurt when they molt. If they don't make it, sometimes it's due to starvation because they can't break out of their shell because it's just too thick, that the enzyme to break it down isn't fast enough. And then sometimes they don't regenerate their organs properly, and then that's another reason that a molt would fail. So she's got some odds stacked against her, but she has a lot to live for. She knows that there's cheese on the other side of this. No, I can't break it for her. It's too delicate of a process. But she's getting there. So you asked a question whether or not the amount of food that she eats has anything to do with how often she molts. The size of their stomach is restrained to the size of their shell, so no matter how much food I give, she can't overeat. So it's, she self-regulates. So even if I don't offer her food all the time in order to keep her from molting too soon, I wouldn't starve her ever. I just let her eat and be happy. She has lots of minerals in the water. Our TDS meter, I think, was topping out at 430 for the dissolved minerals in her water, which will help her get the, calcium that she needs. But I also gave her a ton of calcium supplements before she stopped eating. So the reason her shell isn't blue is because it's actually separating from her body, and it's absorbing, and her body's absorbing all the extra calcium and stuff from it. So, I mean, if you look at the shell, like, you can tell her body's trying to break it down. So it's not as blue and vibrant as it normally is, but this is normal for her molting time. She can hold her breath if she's not moving for a couple hours. But every now and then you'll notice that if she's moving around, she'll come up for air every few minutes. We got Howie from a pet store in 2016. The United States doesn't even import her species anymore. Currently, the only place you can get them that sells rainbow crabs is like Malaysia. So they're just not in the American pet trade anymore. She still is bubbling a little bit. She didn't do a whole lot of bubbling this afternoon, and it was concerning me. But then she started a little later this evening. That crack is looking good. Crabs don't, her species does not breed in captivity at all. So she never had babies. And she doesn't have tank mates because her species is very aggressive. They're cannibalistic. She would eat her friends. And we can't have that. There aren't any vets in Nebraska for crabs, and she has never been sick or injured, so she doesn't go to the vet, and there's no regular care that she needs. Yes, she's pinched me once. It was many, many years ago during a feeding, and she got confused when I was handing her a carrot, and she got my finger on accident. Other than that, she's not aggressive with me. Like, she knows I'm Mama. I'm the food lady. And to be honest, she's never tried to escape. She's never tried to get out of her tank, and then even when I let her run around, she doesn't really go anywhere. She stays pretty close to me. It's kind of amazing. She's just a lot of trust. There's a blueberry there I gotta take out that she didn't eat. I didn't see you squirrel it away there, Howie. It was blending in with the rocks. I've always loved crabs, so that's why I have a crab. When my daughter wanted her, I didn't want to say no because I love little crabbies. They're so cute. No, we are not going to eat Howie when she dies. She's a member of this family, and I love her, and she will get proper, funeral and burial because I love her. I would never do that. Plus, I'm allergic to shellfish, so never, ever, ever cross my mind to eat you because you're my baby. Yeah, some of the people on the live aren't Howie fans. They're just kind of scrolling through and they don't understand what's going on. So a lot of people, when they see crabs, they see food. They don't see a really cool little creature with a personality and feelings. I've lost track of the times that she's molted. She's probably molted like 25 times in my care. She used to molt so frequently when she was little, I didn't even keep count. Nothing's happened to her arm. That's actually normal. That's a joint right there. So you can see that she has a joint there. It's so that she can move. So nothing's wrong with her arms or anything. That's all normal. That's so she can lift her claw. And now she's going to crawl back up for some air. There she goes, getting some. There you go, babe. Yeah. Is that good? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Come on, Howie. Come to this side? No? Just gonna hang out? Yeah. She's got a little bit of energy tonight, which is kind of surprising. She didn't move all day long. Her eyes look like that because her shell's cracked due to the age of her shell. So that's normal, and it doesn't hurt her. You know, she has been spending time in her molting cave quite a bit today, like most of the morning. And then she sat on her log for the whole afternoon. And then she kind of started bouncing around, so I decided to go live. No, she doesn't have any interest in food. Everything I give her, she immediately sets down. So I've even tried to put food up to her, you know, help her out, and she won't eat. But that's just because there's a film in her mouth right now that formed, because her new mouth is forming behind it. So she won't eat for a while. Her little mouth hands there are her third maxillipeds. And then you can see here, see those are darting in and out. Those are her antenna for smelling. So those just kind of flick around and she smells. And then she's got her little mustache. Did you guys know that Howie has eyelashes? See if I can focus on them. Come on, phone. Yeah, she has little tiny eyelashes. Her other eye looks better. There, you can kind of see her eyelashes. And her beard, but her beard's starting to fall out, so she's a little less beardy lately. And her leg hair is falling out too, that you guys can see. It used to be a lot longer. You know, that whole leg is bald. And that one's starting to be bald. Yes, those are actually really hairs, and they are attached to nerve cells so that she can feel around in the dark. So if I put food in her tank, and it bumps her leg, she'll immediately feel it. So she has lots of feeling all over her shell. And she's very temperature sensitive. So when you throw crabs into boiling water, they feel all of it, and it's very painful to them. Like Howie doesn't even like fruit that's too cold. She's very temperature sensitive. Isn't that right, Howie? No, the yellow with this is the sign that she's getting ready to molt. It's just something her shell does right before a molt. Yeah, when they molt, they back out of their shell. So this side opens up where that line is. Let's see, Howie. Your arm's in the way. Let's see if I can see from this side. Yeah. So that line will open up, and then she'll back out. She's got some other spots that are kind of crackly, but she's doing okay. Yeah, right, baby. No, she's not molting right now, but gosh, she's really close, guys. I just thought I'd come on before I went to bed so that you guys can all see her and see that she's doing okay today. Let's see. No, I'm not able to help her molt. The other animals I have 2 kitties, and of course Howie. And then I have a hedgehog and I have a saltwater aquarium. Howie is 8 years old. You know, I don't know how I would keep a camera on her while I sleep because she moves all around her tank and it would be hard to keep focus on her because she sometimes crawls up there and sits up there, sits there quite a bit, and then she'll go under here and hang out and then dance around there and in the back, and sometimes she'll play on her volcano. So I don't know how I'd keep a camera on you, boo-boo. Yeah. Yeah, so this is her aquarium. It's 55 gallons. It could be bigger, but it's very adequate for one crab. You know, when she's not molting, this is literally just her bedroom, you guys. She comes out and plays with me in the house, and she goes outside, and she sits with me on the couch, and she does things. So she's not trapped in here. And then, you know, she has balls and toys and her little squeaky thing. And I do rotate out toys and stuff for her and give her things and stuff to interact with. And then she has her own tablet too, and she watches TV. So she's been watching a lot of TV during this molt because she hasn't really come out. Yeah, I'll update in the morning. I do all my updates throughout the day on Facebook and Instagram. So, like, I'll get up at 7 o'clock in the morning, I'll take a picture of her, and I'll put an update, you know, there. And then I'll do one around, like, noon, 1 o'clock, and then around 5 or 6. And then usually a late night update. It's too hard to put out videos all the time on TikTok. Plus, TikTok doesn't like it when I put out too many videos. They'll stop giving me views. So I put out one a day. No, I don't really take her out of her tank when she's this close to a molt because she's very cranky. The one time I did take her out of her tank, maybe like 10 days before she molted, she was very angry and trying to pinch the cats and stuff. It wasn't good. She was in a horrible mood. So I think she just wants to hang out in here and be grumpy. I know, Howie. It's a grumpy baby. Yeah. You give everybody a pinch? Can you give everybody a pinch? Yeah? Yeah. It's a little pinchy baby. Yeah, she is losing a lot of color. And, you know, a lot of this is the water, too. The water does distort and refract a lot of her color. If she comes out of the water, she's a little bit darker. But, you know, underwater, she looks a little bit even more pale. Isn't that right? But yeah, this is what Howie does. He plays around her tank. Oh, the other saltwater aquarium, everything is asleep right now. The tank lights are off, so all the fish are sleeping. Howie is 8 years old. When we first got her, she could fit in the palm of my hand. So she was probably the size of her big claw. Like, just, I mean, she was itty bitty. She was about the size of Howie's claw. She's gotten so much bigger. Yeah, she was really itty bitty. Why do they have two different size claws? So each gender of the species, both male and female, have claws of differing size. One is for crushing and defense, and the other is for dexterity, primarily eating. So, you know, one for eating and one for crushing. So both the males and the females have it. The males will have a slightly larger claw. Oh, Howie bumped her ball. She's like, get it out of my way, Mom. I need to have some air. Yeah. You cranky baby. Oh, you're so cranky, honey. Yeah, she's blowing her little bubbles. Those are stress bubbles. Sorry, honey. I'm sorry. Her mouth always moves like that in the water. Like she's attempting to oxygenate her gills. She can get a teeny tiny bit of oxygen out of the water, but not enough to meet her needs, so she does have to come up for air. I think she likes being in the water because it reduces the weight on her joints. I think it does make her feel better. I mean, she does like to sit on her log. She did that all day, but she's just hanging out in the water, I think, just to give herself a break. Yes, molting is painful. My daughter named her. She watched a lot of Bobby's World with Howie Mandel, and I think she liked the way the cartoon character Bobby's mom said Howie, in reference to her husband. And my daughter wanted to name Howie, but we didn't know that Howie was a girl because when they were little, you can't tell their gender because their stomach plates, they don't really fully mature until about 2. Right now she's molting about every 8 to 9 months, but it gets longer and longer in between. So her last one was 8 months, and this one's maybe we'll be pushing it closer to 9 months. No, she's not molting now. It's painful because she's separating from her nerves. Because like her shell is attached to her body, just like a turtle's shell is. So all of that is attached to her. She's not just like free floating squishy inside of her shell. I think anybody who's ever eaten crab knows how tough their shells are and how, it's how everything is kind of attached in there. Once her shell cracks, it'll probably take upwards to 3 hours for her to molt. It's supposed to take between 30 minutes and 3 hours, and her last one took about 3 hours, so I'm anticipating it taking a long time again. Howie's favorite food is cheese. Howie is blue, but she's molting, and so all of her color is faded because she's reabsorbing minerals from her shell. Yeah, I know, honey. I know. I don't know how long she can hold on without eating like this. This is the longest she's ever gone without eating. Typically, her species doesn't go more than 2 weeks without eating. But we're on day 28. Well, in 3 minutes, it'll be day 29. Her eyes are cloudy because her shell around her eyes is cracked from the age of her shell. Do crabs have ears? They don't have actual ears, but what they do have is a rudimentary inner ear that perceives sound, but she can feel my voice with her body. So when I say, hi, Howie, like she can feel me say it. She's really loving the bubbles. She's having a little volcano jacuzzi. Yeah, isn't that right, Howie? Does that feel nice? The tank's a little fogged up, but you can see she's a happy girl enjoying those bubbles. Yes, she will be bigger after her molt. I want to say between 15, probably about 10 to 15% larger. Like it's not, dramatic, but it is, you will notice things like she'll be a little bit bigger. Her head will be bigger. Her claws will be bigger. Her legs will be a little longer. She's just going blow bubbles. Oh, hello, Howie. You're such a pretty girl. You're such a pretty girl. Can I see Mama? Yeah. Come and you see Mama. You're so sweet. You sweet baby. Yeah. High five. Yeah. Yeah, it's just a waiting game. This is really nerve-wracking. Like, I'm not getting a whole lot of sleep because I'm so afraid I'm going to miss her molt because so many people want to see it live streamed, and I want to be able to record it and show everyone. You know, I think it would be very anticlimactic if I just, oh, she molted. You know, I think people want to see. Yeah, isn't that right, Howie? So I want you to molt, Howie, but I want to be able to record you doing it, boo-boo. She eats her old shell, so I don't keep them because she needs to remineralize, and that is normal for all crustaceans. So typically, if you see a molt on a beach, it's because a seagull got the crab, and the crab didn't get a chance to eat its molt. Yes, her eyes will clear up after her molt. Because that's just her exoskeleton. Like, her eyes are the thinnest part of her shell, and they're always the first place to crack, especially her left eye. Over the past 3 years, I think it's just been thinning, and I think that's age-related decline. No, there really isn't anything I can do for the discomfort. You know, because she won't take any oral medications. She doesn't really have any skin for anything topical to be rubbed into. So she's just unfortunately has to be a tough crabby. Yeah, she'll molt in her cave. She always does. She's never had a single molt where it wasn't in her molt cave. Although, no, I think when we first got her, we had driftwood in her tank, and she molted under the driftwood, but she was very, very tiny. No, she has a film between her mouth and her esophagus because her digestive system is forming, so I can't get anything in her mouth because there's a film literally between her mouth and her stomach. Like, I can't get anything in. Sometimes when she's molting, she'll come up to the tank glass and kind of just press herself against the glass where I am when she's molting, I think when it really hurts her. And then right before she finished molting, she'll go into her cave. Like last time, you know, she came out to kind of press herself against the glass to say, Mom, I'm molting. You're watching, right? The white things are moving. They're actually dark, but maybe ooh, I'm old. Squatting too long. Those are her antennae for smelling. So they're just scent receptors. She usually has them when she's out swimming. Oh, how old am I? I am 38. I'm an old crusty lady. So crabs are poikilothermic. So they're kind of in the family of cold-blooded animals. And if I turned her tank water down colder for pain relief, it would actually slow her down. And she wouldn't be able to move as well. So she likes her tank water between like 76 and 78. So she's very picky about her water temperature. She's in fresh water. She likes Baby Bell mozzarella cheese. And she loves cheddar, and she loves Swiss. She loves like all the cheese, but I think she really likes the mozzarella the best. Yeah, she likes spending time with me. Earlier today, she was just sitting in her tank, like staring at me while I was watching TV. Like, Mom, come stare at me. Yep, she gets to come out of her tank when she's not, like, right before molting. So she actually spends quite a bit of time out of her tank with me. She goes on adventures and bike rides, and she goes on her stroller, and she goes for walks, and she goes to the park, and, I've even taken her to my mom's house, so she goes all over. She's a rainbow crab. Yes, the cracks are impeding her eyesight, but that will improve when she molts. She can stay out of the water for up to 48 hours. She just has to stay hydrated because her gills won't work if she's dried out. I mean, just kind of like a human being. If you were super dehydrated, you wouldn't do well. So I keep special water with us, and I make sure that she's hydrated in between activities, just for her own comfort, even though I know she can go 2 days, but I don't want her to be uncomfortable. But she is a land crab, and she only breathes air. That's why she keeps coming up for water. Sorry, coming up for air, and then going back down in the water. Yeah, the bubbles are good. She is blowing bubbles right now. Looks like she's, working on it. She's resting her whole body on the top of her cave. Looks like she's tired. Yeah, she does molt underwater, but she holds her breath for a long time. Like right before she pushes herself out of her shell, she'll come up for air. Let's see. Where'd you go, honey? Are you trying to hide from Mama? Yeah. What do you think, sweetie? Yeah, she's moving all over tonight. She's getting close. It's almost like nesting, where she's making sure her tank is safe before she molts. Oh, thank you, Vanessa. Siren, are you tired? Are you tired? Yeah. You squeak? You squeak? There's Siren. Big yawn. Yeah. Howie's just hanging out on her filter. Um, I use, so I have a submersible filtration pump. And what I do is I use two different types of filter pads. So I think I have 4 filter pads in there and then carbon. And I change that out frequently. And we do a lot of water changes to keep her water clean. And then just keeping all the food and gunk out of her water helps keep it clear. So there's just elbow grease and like a ton of effort to keep her water clean. So there's no magic like formula. It's just lots of work. I don't have a light schedule. I mostly just keep the lights off. And then she just enjoys the ambient light of the basement. And then, of course, at night, it's always dark for her. So, but she'll have like a small glow from the blue light of the aquarium across the room from the saltwater tank. No, I've had other crabs and crustaceans. Howie's my first land crab, though. What do you think, Howie? Yeah? You want to go back in your molting cave? Here, she's going to slip in her molting cave. There you go, baby. There. Yeah, she's just going to hang out in her molting cave. Well, it's getting pretty late. I might end this live here, just kind of give Howie time to relax. I'll go live again if anything changes, you guys. So I think I'm going to sign off. Howie, can you say bye-bye? What do you think, honey? Can you thank everybody for all the gifts and love and support? I wish it would stay focused. Jeez. Yeah. Okay, Howie, say bye-bye. Thank you, everybody, for coming to Howie's Live. Have a good night. I'll update in the morning. I'll put it out on Facebook and Instagram. I'll take a picture of her and let everyone know. Okay. Thanks, everybody. Love you.